Hey everyone, welcome to my second YouTube video that I've ever made. On this channel here, I'm very thankful to have an opportunity to share with people of who I am as a person. Maybe get to know other people a little bit, as shown in my previous video. If you have not already, please check it out. Leave a like and a comment. Anything that you do in that video is supposed to be sharing a little bit more about yourself and how you unpack stuff, so people can see that there's different ways of working with something and that there's an openness to this thing that we have in life, which can allow us to have freedom. I wanted to make this video today, and before we get started, please let me know if the music in the background is too high or maybe a little bit too low, just so I can get a feel for it, the atmosphere around me, and I hope that it's good. So thank you very much, and we're listening to some royalty-free stuff. We're just sitting back, sitting down, just enjoying our time here. Maybe take a deep breath in and let that stuff out and let it flow through. This video is going to be talking about a little bit more in detail of getting to know yourself, if you have not already, from the other channel, the other video that I had for this channel, because it'll structure things in a simple way that maybe you can actually see. So something that I did do is I got a link from yogkalam.org. Thank you very much for them. I'm not sponsored by anyone, and I'm fine with that. It simplifies everything in these little boxes for understanding who you are. Typically I find that two of them come from different family members. So if you have a mom and a dad that you want to, or maybe you're doing this with yourself, it can give you a better understanding of who you are and maybe what you're more apt to do in life. If you want to get in finer detail after asking your parents, maybe you can ask them about your grandparents and what they think. You just don't want them judging themselves too much, because someone always wants to put themselves in a box that's higher than themselves. That's why I find personally that oftentimes we do as humans, we want the best, so we're automatically looking for the best without finding what's going on in the back here before we get things actually started, right? And that's a part of starting it, though, is learning it. And what I found is that it helped me understand who people were a little bit more in detail, of what they would sort of who they are as a person, and who I am. How each individual box connects will be different. Like, for an example, if you are an extremely caring person, I don't know if you want to stay away from indicative people that are not so caring. Like, that's just not something you want to do, so stay away from them if you're in that pink section. So the link for this is actually going to be in my box below somewhere, and you can just click on it, check it out, and figure out who you are from asking maybe your parents who they think their parents, their grandma, their grandpa, like your grandma, your grandpa would have been fitting in one of these boxes. And then maybe that gives you a better understanding of your parents and where they are. And then you can ask them, like, hey, do you think like these two things are you? And then maybe like fine tune it to the best of your ability. You could even ask a friend or family member, but just don't be like too weird and be like, hey, like, do you know these things about these people? You don't want to be that person. You could be. That's not my thing, but you feel free and enjoy it. I'm more of someone that I don't want to rely on too much of the back end talk right now. What I'm doing is actually just sharing the boxes, so you can look inside of each individual one and figure out where you can take that in your life. Like, if you're powerful, perceptive, and peaceful, then you might want to embrace that energy and maybe mix it in with a little bit of the other things, because we're all a little bit of something. Maybe we just don't know it yet, and we're learning and we're adapting. We're eventually figuring it out. That's why in the other video, if you wanted to check that out, go on the comments section, and someone messaged you or replied to you. If they do that, even if this video is in the way future, you can go back there and check that out. And I want people to be able to do that so that they can learn, feel like there's someone that maybe has a similar experience or is open to sharing what they've done. And I did have someone comment on that video. I think I had like 2 views at the time, 2 likes. Extremely awesome that that happened, so thank you for doing that. And this person shared their experience of how they connected. Now I'm open to connections, and I think that what they were doing might have been something that worked. Maybe what works for them might not work for you. So don't just like do what I said and like throw yourself far ahead. If you're not ready for it, don't do it. You have to take life as it is. Take the steps that you need to ensure that you are safe. Maybe that you're compatible with this is not something that you know yet. Okay, so you have to understand that and do what I said, fine-tune those gears as in the last video, and now we look at understanding who we are as a person a little bit more. Your parents might be a yellow and an orange, or a mix of a red and a green for more of a structured understanding of how things worked. It may be the things that didn't work, that for whatever reason did, because sometimes they're intermingled, and then they make different aspects of your life maybe a little bit higher than others. You could search into that, whatever it is, and then you'll be able to educate yourself more on that I think the word is premise, or that foundation of growth. That plate that you have from the other video that we're taking into this video from the other video's education. Maybe I talked about the plate in the other one, and now you're seeing the fruits, you're seeing the vegetables, you're seeing the different things you can do it. You're putting pine nuts. Just imagine pine nuts, olive oil, parsley, I think it is, and I think it's a lemon. I'm not sure if I said that already. And you crush it up with pestle and mortar, and you boil your pasta, your whatever you're doing. Maybe it's soba noodles for whatever reason. It doesn't make sense, but it might work, because what might work for you might not work for another person. And you're eating that food. You share that with someone else, they have a piece of that, and it's an understanding. So this is where you're getting to. The more empathetic part of it is just being a person that's giving and caring. Well, I think is a phenomenal thing to have. It's an asset in a lot of different ways. Something that I would do too. Maybe you take your food, you share it with other people, you eat it, maybe a piece of it. There's a lot of things you can do. Just be creative with what you're doing. Me personally, I think that I fit into the creative box a little bit more, because I've learned to understand what that is, and like I've went into it. But you can essentially do anything that you want in life if you learn the foundation of the aura color blocks and their meanings. So when someone says, oh, your aura is like this, maybe you can actually take an understanding and like empathize with them, what they're saying about you, because that person might actually care a lot, and they might have a piece of information for you that you might want to take, and you might not believe it. So what you're doing is you're looking inside of it. Like you have this box, you have to figure out what's going on inside of it before you open it. And then if you haven't opened that box yet, there might be another part of it, like the red or the blue or the purple aura colors that you relate to more. Work with them. Do that. It's fine. It's pleasant, and you'll learn something good from it. Because life has all these ups. You have all these different shapes that are always moving, these cool blocks to it. But please check that out. Ask your family members if you'd like to. You can learn a little bit more about them and try to do what I said. And maybe not be like, hey, like, do you think you're this? But you could do it if that works for you. But thank you very much. You're here. That's all that matters. Leave a like. Leave a comment down below of what you think you are for one of these auras. Have a great day. Bye.